The message around this team is clear. They need a momentum boost heading into a big showdown on Saturday night in Saugerties. Up here at Eastfield, back on Outlaws pregame. As always, my name is Colby Smith. This Oneonta team comes in after splitting a doubleheader with the Utica Blue Sox on the road last night. The Outlaws falling in Game 1, the early game, by a 7-2 score, as Oneonta scored 2 of the first 3 runs, but then Utica kind of ran away with things and took the 7-2 victory in Game 1. But the Outlaws did have a handful of positives to take away, despite having just 4 hits on the board. Most notably, the pitching side of things was also brilliant yesterday. As you see, player of the game for Game 1, Brian Dangler. He came in the bottom of the 6th inning to relieve Clay Kotz through 1 inning in total, because they didn't have to play a bottom of the 7th with the Outlaws being unable to tie things up in the top half of the inning. But he had to throw just 3 pitches. First pitch, gave up a hit. Then he turned around, got another ball in play, turned a double play as he threw one 1-4 to 3. And we asked Utica for the video from the games from yesterday and have yet to receive that. So we should be getting that any day now. And would love to show you that double play. As when we get to our plays of the game, we're going to have to run things down and use our plays from the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs game the other night that resulted in a tie down at Damaski. But we'll get to that momentarily. Player of the game for Game 2, the one the Outlaws took the win in yesterday, Cullen Condon. 6 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was charges earned with 3 walks and 9 Ks. So Condon really finding his stride here as the summer's moved on. And he's only going to be in Oneonta for about another week, as all 3 Wofford guys leaving the Outlaws following our July 4th game. Another matchup against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. It's Mohawk Valley, Oneonta's most common opponent on the 2024 schedule. 9 games in total against the Diamond Dogs, and we've played just 3 of those so far. But Condon takes the player of the game nod for Game 2, and the pitching staff sweeps the players of the games for the doubleheader yesterday. Was glad we were able to get those posted up for you this morning, because if you weren't aware, Outlaw social media this summer, we've been adding in a lot of behind-the-scenes content and some new ideas. Player of the game was one we kind of came up with on the fly and have run with, and it's certainly been a fun one that everybody looks forward to. So another thing that everybody looks forward to are plays of the game. And as we said, have not gotten a video from Utica the last 2 games yet from last night, but that's not a problem. We'll flip things back, as we weren't allowed to broadcast yesterday at Utica, to our plays of the game from the tie game against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs the other night. Resulted in a 5-5 score through 10 innings at Damaski. Here's play of the game number 1. Long Island, so a huge shout out to the Taggarts watching down there on Long Island. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. So quick check look to second, the 2-2. Out in the air towards center. Jacoby Dale, shallow center, lays out and makes the play. He comes up with that one. Dale leaves his feet, gets the job done, and that will be a defensive play of the game candidate heading to the bottom 6. 5-4, the Diamond Dogs still have the lead. It's Jacoby Dale putting on a clinic. Got to give it to Jacoby Dale. He's been putting on a clinic in center field for the Outlaws so far this summer. He will not be in the lineup tonight for Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska squad up here at Glens Falls. Dale, one of those guys who night in and night out, always a big presence at the plate, and has come up with big plays repeatedly in the field, as he's one of our most common player of the game candidates, it feels like. But Jacoby Dale making play out there that seems also difficult, almost look routine. So that's play of the game number 1. Now check out play of the game number 2. Toss it down to his last strike. Come on, man. Bateman at third. Cockamus at second, and now Dale at first, the 0-2. And McAllister with a goalie-like move behind the plate. Able to sprawl out and keep that one in. 1-2 count. Carson Black, a little all over the place here as he fires one in. Glosson belts one high in the air towards center. Rasmussen charging back. Pulls it down for the out. Tagging up from third comes Bateman. He's going to get in standing up, and we're tied at 5 here in the bottom of the 9th at Damaski. Go Glow. Ethan Glossa with a deep fly ball, sacrifice fly. Go Glow, and glow in a big way. Ethan Glossa coming up with that big RBI sat fly in the 9th inning on Tuesday night there at Damaski Field to tie things up at 5 apiece. Oneonta would have 2 outs on the board. They'd still have 2 runners on base, wouldn't be able to come through with a hit to end things in regulation. So we had to go to the 10th. First time Oneonta's gone to an extra inning so far this season. And they shut Mohawk Valley down, most notably Joel Hayner in the top half of the inning, as he was great out of the bullpen the other night. 4 innings. He's not going to pitch for a couple more days, I'm sure, but things will get busy for the Outlaws. He'll get another opportunity. Bottom of the 10th, the Outlaws loaded the bases with 1 out, couldn't get the job done, and so they put things in the books as a tie, the first tie that Oneonta's taken so far this year, as with a split yesterday, they're now 10-9-1 on the season. The Glens Falls Dragons entering into this contest tonight, 3-12-1. And to help preview things for you tonight, we chopped it up with a new commit to Northwestern State, Colton Harrison, announcing his commitment yesterday. So he dropped by our pregame show today. Hear from Colton Harrison ahead of first pitch here in Glens Falls. Outlaws and Dragons coming up shortly. Colby Smith, and I'm super excited to be joined today by Colton Harrison. Colton, big news yesterday. You just committed to Northwestern State. Why'd you pick Northwestern State, and what are you excited about heading there?
The coach there, Coach Bertrand's a great coach. I heard great things about him, and I know some guys who played there when he was the assistant coach. And, I heard he's a big family guy and really cares about his players, and it's been a super stressful process just trying to find the right spot, but I feel pretty comfortable going in and playing for him because I've heard great things about him.
Well, you said it's been a stressful process. You want to just talk a little bit about your decision to transfer in the first place and what that process has been like for you?
Yeah, nowadays, just the way college baseball is, everything's kind of different. People are hopping all over the place. Coaches are doing the same. So it's a difficult spot to be in nowadays. So, I just feel like it was the best decision for me. And, hopefully it all works out. But I think I made the right decision.
Well, in terms of what you were looking for in a new school, what did you specifically have in mind for what you were looking for?
Something like a little bit more family-oriented, something where everyone's a little bit closer, something like that. Nothing too different because I don't think anything was wrong with the last spot, but maybe something where I have a little bit more opportunity and a little closer-knit group of people.
Well, and we've talked about it a little bit throughout the summer, off the record and such, but your experience playing summer ball here in Oneonta, what drew you to come in here, and what have you liked about it so far?
I think it's a pretty cool spot. First of all, just getting to be with the kids at Cooperstown umpiring, I think that's pretty cool, and then being out here every day playing baseball. So far I've been struggling a little bit, not playing as I know I can, but that's part of the process, and everyone goes through it, and I think that's truly going to make me a better player. Me and Josiah have been working on some things with my swing, so it's just coming out here every day and just looking to get better and just working. Every day I'm in the cage, just working on the little things. I think that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Well, in talking about that part of the process, baseball being such a mental game, you didn't have a lot of at-bats this year. How do you feel like that's kind of played a factor in your slow starts this summer?
It's difficult not playing for a long period of time, then coming out here and playing every other day and such, but I'm getting back into the groove of things, and it's just, like I said, it's part of the process, and it's nothing to hold me back. It's just going to help me get better and move forward in my career.
Well, you mentioned working with Josiah specifically. What kind of things have you learned from him and Coach Keaton so far this summer?
We've just been talking about approach, really, and just little things in my swing, like my hands, positioning, stuff like that, where I stand in the box, just little things. Nothing like a major swing change, but just small things that can go a long way in the game of baseball. And I think a lot of it, too, is mental and just getting your confidence back, especially after not playing for a while. But the coaches here really helped me out with that, and I think they really believe in all of us. So I think that's a good thing around here.
Well, in terms of the belief that you're talking about, this team's kind of been up and down to start the season. How do you feel like the belief has stayed up there and, you guys have all leaned on each other through this process?
Well, I think the big thing about this group is every day we look for ways to go out there and compete, but also just to have fun and enjoy it. Like it's not too stressful because we know at the end of the day we're playing a game that we all grew up playing as kids and that we love. So, you can't be too hard on yourself at times because at the end of the day it's a kids game that we're just all playing, and it's a high level of baseball, but at the end of the day it's a game that we all started playing as kids, that we played it because we love it. So I think this group understands that that's why we play it. So I think that's why we go out there and we try to have fun, and that helps us out. And we win some games, we lose some games. That's, like I said, it's all part of it.
Well, and speaking to that effect, what kind of identity do you feel this team has taken on, and how do you feel like you guys all build on and learn from each other?
I'm not really sure what type of identity we have, but I think that there's so much positivity and such a good mesh on this team. Like if you need help with something in your swing maybe, or you just want advice from someone else on the team, anyone will offer their advice. All you got to do is ask. There's no negativity, no animosity between each other. Everyone's just here for each other, pulling for each other. So if you're struggling, we all still love each other. If you're doing great, good for you. It's just a great group of guys who just want to be together and play baseball every day.
Well, and what kind of things have you guys done off the field so far this summer to, grow your camaraderie and build each other up?
We've been playing some poker. I know a bunch of the guys play poker and cards and just, hang out at night. Some of the guys watch the College World Series together. We umpire all together in groups, so, stuff like that. And even just coming out on the off days to hit in the cage and just be together. And it's just, no matter what time of the day it is, what day of the week, some group of guys are always together. So that's just, I think that helps mesh the team together pretty well.
Well, and Colton, I got to ask, after that stretch where you guys didn't play too much baseball, you guys all of a sudden turned things up and you're playing a lot of baseball in such a short amount of time. What are you guys all talking about right now, thinking about, and trying to get through the stretch you have?
Just it kind of goes back to that part on believing in each other, because some guys are going to play and then the next, like we have a bunch of doubleheaders, so one guy will play and the next guy will play the next game. So just believing in the guy that plays after you, believing in the guy that plays before you, for them to get the job done. So, it's a lot of baseball, so we're going to rotate a lot of positions, and some people will play, some people won't, but, just belief in each other that we can get the job done no matter who's on the field, or, at the end of the day, we all believe in each other.
Colton, one last question here before I let you go. You guys are heading up to Glens Falls tonight to see a Dragons team that you've beaten both of the first two times you've seen them pretty handily. What are you expecting out of this one tonight?
I'm hoping we get a big win. We got a lot of baseball, like you said, and I think a big win tonight would really help us and boost the confidence for a big week coming up. We play Socrates this weekend, so I think a big win tonight would really help boost our confidence for that game.
Colton, thank you so much for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
So the national anthem comes to a close here at Eastfield and Glens Falls, and now ahead of our first pitch, as we get ready to get started here, we're going to flip things over to assistant coach Josiah Aska from just before we got on the bus today. Colby Smith back here with Outlaws assistant coach Josiah Aska. Coach, a lot of baseball for you guys over these last couple of days. Let's go back to Tuesday night first against the Diamond Dogs. Want to just talk a little bit about playing the back half of that suspended game and then playing what turned out to be a full 10-inning nice contest?
Well, it was kind of different to be playing a continuation for the first time this summer. Kind of had to get the guys back in the groove after a couple of days that we missed from rain cancellations and other things, but we started a little rough in those couple innings, and then we did come back and play a pretty well baseball game.
Well, and talking about starting slow like that, what was it like being there in the dugout, trying to get those guys sparked after having that time off?
Just trying to tell them we just got to keep putting good at-bats together and just keep trying to fight.
Well, and what's it like from both your playing days and now coaching days, being in a stretch like you guys had where you didn't know when you were going to play again and what the weather was going to be like?
Just trying to expect to play, not telling ourselves that we won't play, so then if we do, we're not in it. Just always being in the mindset of staying ready so you don't have to get ready.
And what's your go-to mindset in terms of trying to tell these guys to stay focused or trying to help them fight back after a slow start like the other night?
Just tell them be ready, It's a hard game, very mental game. and as soon as you're not in it mentally, that's when you get taken advantage of. So just trying to always be ready for the next play and the current play.
Well, and how proud were you and Coach Mark of the guys for bouncing back the way they did in that full game the other day?
It was good. It was a very good thing, just battling, and not giving up. It was good to see.
Well, and one thing I wanted to ask. Well, we're sorry to cut Coach Aska off a little bit soon, but we got to jump right into it. We're getting ready to start the top of the first here at East Field, so take a look at today's starting lineup for your Oneonta Outlaws. Leading things off, playing second base, going to be Kyle Kakamis. Tanner Harden plays third. Matt Carrera is going to be at shortstop, hitting third. Ethan Gloss is in left field. Connor Wading plays first. Jeremy Taggart, the catcher, hits sixth. Jaden Ross is in center field, and he's well represented with a group of people here for him tonight in the seats. Dylan Millman, the designated hitter, pitcher to the left, going to be in the 8th spot. Darren Dangler gets back in the lineup. He's the extra hitter. Owen Burnsworth plays right, and the starting pitcher tonight for your Outlaws going to be Chris Ubner. So we'll wipe that away and get your scorebook on the screen as we're just about ready to get things going. The Outlaws now 10-9-1 after that doubleheader split on the road last night against the Utica Blue Sox. As we said already, they fell in game one by a 7-2 score, turned around, put 2 on the board in the top of the first, and that was all they'd score, but it would be all they need as they took the victory 2-1. Blue Sox made it interesting, bottom 7th, got the tying run on base with just 1 out, but luckily for the Oneonta bullpen's sake, they were able to fend off the charges and take that victory to keep their record above 500. So Kyle Kakamis going to settle into the box to see the Dragon starter and Riley Orr. Towing first base side, fires in a strike 1, and we are underway here in Glens Falls. Kakamis 5'11", 185, playing in his third game and hitting at the top of the order for the third time tonight for the Outlaws. Or bat set, deals the 0-1. Kakamis lays off as it's high and outside for ball 1 as the count will draw even. Kakamis 1 for 3 with a run scored in game 2 last night at Utica. Or with his toes pointed square to third. Takes his time, now the 1-1, low and outside. Ball 2. Kakamis, a guy who Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska both have said they're expecting big things from the rest of the summer. Got a small sample size of the PGCBL at the end of last season as the 2-1. Kakamis a big swing, and he tipped that one right into the glove, so the count will go to 2-2. Kakamis and the Outlaws on the road for the second consecutive day after being down at Damaski Tuesday night. Will not return home until Monday night when they host Watertown at 7 o'clock. Is Orr's 2-2. Kakamis lays off, and it's a called strike 3, so he's rung up for the first out. That'll be a backward K looking if you're scoring along at home, and down will go to Tanner Harden. Harden in the 2 spot tonight has kind of fluctuated between the 1 and 2 spots here as of late for Coach Keaton Mark. 14 games played. He's got a .317 average as he settles in on the left side. Looked like he was going to pull around but held up and takes a strike anyway as it'll go 0-1. Harden with 3 doubles, has 10 RBIs on the summer, in total 13 for 41. Is Orr's 0-1. Harden checks his swing, and they say he came around, so it'll go 0-2. So Harden quickly behind. Excuse me, they're going to change that call to a ball. Okay, so 1-1. So the count even on Harden, 1 ball, 1 strike. That one low and away outside, ball 2. Harden a combined 0 for 4 with a run, an RBI, a walk, and a hit by pitch in the doubleheader yesterday. 1-1 count with 1 down. Orr's pitch. Harden with a bouncer left side of the infield. Mode on the backhand, fires across the diamond. Going to pull Bernardo off the bag, and Harden will be safe down there for the Outlaws with 1 away. So that'll be an infield single for Tanner Harden, and we'll go to Matt Carrera. Carrera, 10 games played. He's hitting .300. Has a couple of doubles, 3 RBIs. Always works carefully with a runner on base, being a righty swinger. Carrera a little bit smaller on the size-wise of things as well. 5'6", 170. Shoots one in a shallow right field. That one's going to fall down. Cespedes charging in on his Harden turns second and gets all the way to third. And it'll be runners at the corners for Oneonta with just 1 out. So Carrera, first pitch swinging, turns on one to right field. And Ethan Glossa is going to come up trying to do some damage here in this first inning. Glossa played game 1 yesterday at Utica, went 0 for 2 with a run, a strikeout, and was hit by a pitch. Glossa, one of our plays of the game from the tie against the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs the other night, as he had the game-tying RBI sac fly in the 9th inning. Glossa, a guy who assistant coach Josiah Aska said is a great situational hitter for this team, as Glossa checked the swing and did come around. So he'll fall behind 0-1. Glossa 5'11", 180. Just wrapped up his sophomore year at Herkimer, playing his first summer in the PGCBL. Trying to catch Carrera off guard over there at first. But Carrera always great awareness on the base pass. There's a couple of stolen bases to his credit already on the summer. 0-1 count, Ethan Glossa, top first. Outlaws looking to score first. Or from the stretch, Glossa, big swing and a miss on the curve. And so the count will be 0-2. Second base, the only bag open with 1 out. And Oneonta already 2 hits in the inning. Had just 4 hits apiece in games 1 and 2 yesterday at Utica. Glossa turns on one, past the diving Griffin into left field. Harden charges in to score, and it's 1-0 Outlaws here in the first. Glossa, you said it, great situational hitting. He gets an RBI single to drive in Tanner Harden. Carrera holds up at second, and so it'll be first and second with just 1 out for Connor Wading. Last time the Outlaws were here, way back when on Monday, June 3rd, put up a 7 spot in the top of the first inning against the Dragons. Quick checklet to second, Wading, turns on one, shot it into the screen just to the right of the Dragon dugout, so he'll fall behind in the count 0-1. Wading, another guy who played game 1 yesterday up at Utica. 1 for 2, had a double with an RBI and a walk. Wading with his toe squared up to the chalk line. Or another long glance to second, steps off, fires it back there, and Kleinman had to jump to pull that one down. First to third on the infield for the Dragons tonight is Bernardo, Kleinman, Moat, and Griffin. Left to right in the outfield, Meyer, Mazzarini, Cespedes, with Knight behind the plate for Orr. The 0-1, both runners, bit of a jump, as that one right down the gut for a strike, as the count will go 0-2 on Wading. Wading, a guy who has hit for some power so far this summer, a pair of doubles, pair of homers, and he's got 6 RBIs on his stat line. 0-2 count with 1 away. Wading playing plate defense, able to shoot that one off foul, so the count will stay where it's at. It's Carrera down at second and Glosses at first. And 1 run's already across the plate here in this top of the first. Outlaws going to have an off day tomorrow before they go down to Saugerties on Saturday, to Boonville Sunday. Orr's 0-2, in tight to the knees, that's ball 1. Glens Falls hasn't been home in 9 days, and they've only played 1 game over the course of the last 8 days due to all the rain that's come about over the last week plus. Long checklet to second, 1-2 offering, Wading out to the gap in left center field. That one's going to drop in for a hit. Charging around third comes Carrera. Ethan Glossa in the third, and it'll be runners at the corners, and now a 2-0 Oneonta lead. So Connor Wading with a big RBI single here in the first inning to bring in Matt Carrera. Glossa, being as he was on the move, able to get to third. And so Jeremy Taggart going to come up with a 2-0 lead, 1 out, and runners at first and third. Taggart has not played since that suspended game Saturday that was concluded on Tuesday. Went 0 for 3 against the Dodge. Is that one going to brush it back off the plate? He'll lead 1-0. Taggart yet to appear in a game against the Dragons. It's the third meeting of 8 on the 2024 agenda between these two sides. Checklet to first, 1-0, in there for a called strike as he'll draw back even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Taggart, 7 games played. He's hitting a .182, 4 for 22 with 4 RBIs, but he also has 3 walks and 11 Ks. 1-1 offering. Taggart clips that one back. Mass thrown off by Knight. Glossa comes in to score, and it'll be 3-0 Outlaws. As Connor Wading able to advance to second on the wild pitch. So you love to see that for the Outlaws here in this first inning, getting a wild pitch to get a run in. Takes a little bit of a pressure off Jeremy Taggart with having another run 90 feet away. Wading's at second, and there's still just 1 down. 1-2 count on Jeremy Taggart, who's in the 6th spot in the order. Offering for more, swing and a miss as he went to the fastball and got Taggart looking for 1. So Taggart, they're going to say he checked to swing. So actually it'll be a 2-2 count. Apologize. 2-2 offering, now he gets rung up. Taggart going to be down looking at 1 as that one clipping that lower outside edge. It was a dilemma we had last time we were here as well, as sometimes no deliberation on the calls from our guy stationed behind the plate. But there's 2 away, and now it's Jaden Ross, who, as we said, has some people here to watch him tonight. That'll be in there for a called strike. As Orr went to that breaking curve that we heard a little bit about. A couple of his teammates on the Outlaws this summer, as it's an all-Marist starting pitcher duel tonight. Or a grad student at Marist. Is that one a called strike 2? Now Ross going to be swinging at anything close. Chris Ubner just wrapped up his junior year at Marist. And a couple other Marist Red Foxes in the Outlaw lineup tonight. Is the 0-2 offering. Ross, a little bouncer up the third baseline into foul territory, and he was running heads up trying to get down there to first. Shadows have creeped all the way in over home plate here in this first inning, and Oneonta already out to an early 3-0 lead. Ross went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs, a walk, 3 Ks, and a stolen base when the Outlaws were here back on Monday, June 3rd. Oneonta going to have 3 more trips up here to East Field in the month of July. Is the 0-2 high and away, ball 1. Ross always with a good eye at those high ones outside. He's been hosed quite a bit at the plate so far this summer, as the umpires always seem to make their zone only just a couple inches wide when he's up there, and he gets rung up at 1 very low. And he's talking to the umpire about this one, and he has every right to. That one was way low off the plate, but nonetheless, he's rung up looking. And to the bottom of the first we go. The Outlaws, a 3-0 lead here on the road in Glens Falls. Bottom of the first inning, back here on Outlaws YouTube, as we bring you back to Eastfield. Chris Ubner just concluding his warm-up tosses. Ubner now 2-0 with a 1.80 ERA through 15 innings pitched. His last 2 appearances for the Outlaws have been starts. He's going to see a Dragons team who's now 3-12-1 after they took a 10-6 loss on the road down at Saugerties on Sunday night in what was the longest game that both those two teams have played so far this season, as it took about 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's Cattell Kleinman in to lead things off for the Dragons against Ubner. Shadows creeping all the way in on the infield now as that one up and away, but a called strike. Is Ubner going to work ahead on the first hitter he sees? Ubner 5'9", 185 ready from Cooperstown. Went 4 innings on Saturday against Mohawk Valley. As that one up and away, another called strike. Ubner said he was going to be aggressive early, trying to go to that fastball, get called strikes before he got creative to work on his breaking stuff a bit. 0-2 count on Kleinman here in the bottom of the first. Ubner kicks and fires low and away, and that's ball 1. Kleinman's hitting a .182 through 11 games played, sits for 33 with 2 RBIs, has 11 walks, but is yet to take a strikeout. 1-2, Ubner working almost from the stretch, blasted out towards center field, going to drop in front of Ross, and Kleinman's on the lead off the bottom half of the first against Chris Ubner. So Cody Meyer going to come up with 1 on base and nobody out. Meyer playing left field tonight for the Dragons. He's hitting .298 as the highest batting average on the team. Meyer with his right foot up square to the chalk line. Immediately on the move goes Kleinman. Tagger with a throw down there. Out at second. Beautiful throw by Jeremy Tagger as the tag gets slapped on by Kakamis out there. So a 2-4 caught stealing for the first out. And that's got to feel good if you're Chris Ubner. Give up a leadoff hit and immediately have it erased. So Cody Meyer now in a 1-0 count with 1 down. Ubner kicks and fires that one in high at the hands, ball 2. Meyer from Newton, Connecticut, just wrapped up his sophomore year at Maryville College. As the 2-0 from Ubner, a big swing and a miss. As Ubner trying to work back into this count. It's the 3rd matchup already here in 2024 between these two squads. Outlaws have taken the first 2, and both have been via the mercy run rule, as that one caught off the nub of the bat, and it'll go 2-2. Lasted 7 innings back on Monday, June 3rd when Oneonta was here, as it was a 15-5 Outlaw win. And then on Wednesday, June 19th, when the Dragons made their first trip of the year to Oneonta, only took 8 innings for the Outlaws to work that one down 14-4. 2-2. Chris Ubner kicks and fires. Big swing and a miss, as Meyer going to be retired swinging. So there's 2 away quickly here in the bottom of the first, and we'll go to Jack Griffin. Griffin playing 3rd base tonight for the Dragons. 12 games played, a 185 average. 5 for 27 in total, and has 4 RBIs. Ubner, it always seems like, makes quick work of the first couple innings, gets through and other teams line up the first time quite well. That one going to come in low as he went to his slider, as it'll be ball 1. Dragons playing their 7th home game tonight as they're 2-4 here at Eastfield. They're 1-8-1 away. That one shot straight on back into the screen behind the plate as the count will go 1 ball, 1 strike. Griffin making his 2nd appearance against the Outlaws. Went 0 for last time, so he's seeking his first hit against Outlaw pitching so far this summer. Ubner, a big breath, the 1-1. Couldn't get that call on the lower outside edge of the zone. 2 balls and a strike. If you're just dropping by to join us, Outlaws put up a 3 spot in the top of the first, have a 3-0 lead. Ubner bat set to the plate. Is 2-1 offering. In tight to the belt, but a called strike. It's 2-2. So now Chris Ubner just one good pitch away from getting out of this first inning, despite giving up a leadoff hit. Cato Kleinman being forced out at second base on a 2-4 caught stealing play, and now Griffin opting to take time. If they need him, Aurelio Cespedes would be the next man up in the Glens Falls Dragon order. Ubner back ready again with a 2-2. Kitson fires, swing and a miss. He gets Griffin reaching for a fastball, and the Dragons going to be sent down 1-2-3 here in the first, despite the hit. To the second we go here on Outlaws YouTube. Oneonta, the 3-0 lead.
Welcome back to the game. Here Marco Moses at the call. We got Millman Hayden. He's a great hitter, a great guy. He's gonna hit a bomb now. Watch and learn how to hit. The pitcher with the count, number 26. Foul ball, good swing, good swing. My boy Millman from Maris is a great guy. He's kind of struggling right now, but pretty sure he's gonna get back to the track because he's a good hitter. My boy hit it now. Throw that pitch. He's going to hit it. He's scared. He's scared. Ball outside. Great preparation. Great. He's my boy Millie's a hard-working guy. One of the best guys in the clubhouse for sure. Umpire, don't delay the game. It's not about you. Let's go. My boy Millie with the pitch, number 26. No, umpire, that's a ball call, my boy. That's two inside. I know we're scared, but not that much. My boy Riley Orr with a 5.14 ERA. A loose game. Not looking that good for him in the season. My boy Riley with the pitch. Ooh, slider right down the middle. Not the pitch for my boy to hit, but okay, we got the next one. Hopefully I'm not jinxing my boys. Shout out to my boy Jacoby, great guy. Dangler at bat, Dangler playing EH tonight with the pitch. Ooh, right on the middle fastball. Number 26, looking with a solid fastball and a really good slider. Yeah, but we're going to beat him, so don't worry. Ooh, slider inside. Great pitch by Riley. Not a great take for Dangler. He's down to the count, so let's see if he can bat it up. He's a great guy, too. Let's go, Dangler. Foul ball, hard line drive for Dangler. He's fighting. He's going to get it. Shout out to the families who are watching their kids play the game they love. Um, Thank you for everything. Ooh, damn, I'm jinxing my boys. I'm sorry, Kobe. Now hitting Owen. Owen playing right field tonight. I know the boys. Oh, swing up by Owen, kind of late. Great fastball by Riley. He's giving everything in the mouth right now, but yeah, he's still gonna lose. Don't worry. Let's go, Owen. You got it, baby. No, fastball inside. Yeah, I will be scared too. Great hitter, great guy, great fielder. Such great personality by Owen. 26 with a pitch. Ooh, great slider. Inside slider. Kind of a ball, but good call by the umpire. Can go 50-50. Owen fighting, Owen fighting. No, great take by Owen. Shout out to Colton and his cat. Really happy for my boy Colton going to Northwestern State. I might play them in the college season. I might hit a home run of them, so exciting for that matchup. Number 26 with the pitch. Owen. Ooh, great slider down the middle. Damn. Sorry, guys. I have to leave you behind. I jinxed my boys. Thank you, Kobe.
Bottom of the second inning, back here at East Field, as Chris Ubner takes back to the hill. Got to give a big shout out to Marco Moises for coming in here and taking over the top half of the inning for me. That was certainly something, and we hope you enjoyed it. Certainly hope we can do a little bit more stuff like that moving forward here throughout the rest of the season. But it's Adelio Cespedes at the plate for the Glens Falls Dragons. It's Chris Ubner with a 1-0. Sprayed on off in the foul territory, left field side, as the count will go to 1-1. Cespedes hitting .286 on the summer so far, as a double and an RBI, 8 walks, 4 strikeouts. Cespedes one of just 3 lefties in the lineup tonight for Matt Dio's Dragons. Checks his swing on this one, and they say he came around, so the count will be 1-2. Cespedes 6'3", 220, one of the bigger guys in this Dragons order. Ubner 1-2, high and upstairs, ball 2. So the count going to go even on Cespedes, who's in the 4th spot in the order. In the field tonight for the Outlaws, left to right in the outfield, Ethan Glossa, Jaden Ross, Owen Burnsworth. Ubner's bait side, 2-2, swing and a miss as he gets him reaching for a fastball. So Cespedes going to be sent down to start the bottom half of inning number 2. Ubner going to those fastballs in the 2-strike counts. Now 3 of the first 4 he's seen, he's struck out. Caden Bernardo going to be the next one up for Glens Falls. Third to first on the infield for Oneonta. Harden, Carrera, Kakamis waiting as Taggart's behind the plate again for Chris Ubner. That one in there for a called strike. Is Ubner going to that breaking stuff. Bernardo, 160 average on the summer so far. Is that one just above the shoelaces, 1-1. Bernardo, 6'4", 205. He's from Glenmont, New York. Just concluded his freshman year at the University of Maine. Ubner looking at the third base bag, the 1-1. Comes in tight. Thought maybe it had clipped him, but just barely stayed off Bernardo as it'll go to a 2-1 count. 3-0 score for the Outlaws here in the bottom half of the second. Is now that one up and away. Ball 3. Three-one count is Ubner working from the stretch. That one going to clip Caden Bernardo, so he's going to get the free pass to first. So Bernardo going to be on first with 1 out. 3-1 count as next up going to be Zoen Collins. Collins a 133 average, 2 for 15 with a double and a pair of RBIs as Ubner fires that one low and outside for ball 1. So Bernardo, the second base runner to reach against Chris Ubner so far. As he gave up a leadoff single to begin the bottom of the first to Kleinman before he got retired via 2-4 caught stealing. That sails up and away, ball 2. And it'll go 2-0. Collins from Cobleskill, New York, so not too far down the road. Represents Dominican College on this Glens Falls Dragons roster. Ubner, quick little checklet to first. Now comes back set. 2-0 pitch with 1 away. Slow bouncer right side of the infield. Going to roll through the hole into shallow right field. Big turnaround second. Bernardo able to get back there. As Burnsworth fired that one in quickly. So 2 in a row on base as Owen Collins getting on courtesy of the single. Bernardo over to second, so it'll be first and second with 1 down here for the Dragons. Shane Weatherington, the designated hitter, the next man to come to bat. Weatherington's already seen Oneonta twice so far this summer. He even pitched a third of an inning the last time these two met up down on June 19th at Damaski. Ubner taking a long glance to second, delivers the pitch, bouncer over towards third, going to roll over the chalk line, so it'll be a foul ball for Weatherington. Weatherington 6'2", 190. He's from Duanesburg. Goes to the U of Bradford, where it just concluded his sophomore year. Trails in the count to 0-1 to Chris Ubner. Ubner able to hold the runners. Big swing and a miss as he went to the fastball to get Weatherington behind 0-2. Christian Knight, the catcher. Nicholas Mazzarini playing center field. Christian Mott, the shortstop, round out this Glens Falls lineup. 0-2 as Ubner bats set, hits and fires. Big swing and a miss again. 4 strikeouts now for Chris Ubner. As 4 of the first 5 outs he's recorded have been via the K. So to Christian Knight we go. Knight, 7 games played. He's hitting 105, just 2 for 19, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and this is just the 3rd time he's playing at home here at East Field. Ubner delivers low, but a called strike. So luckily for Ubner's sake, he's getting those calls on the lower outside corner. It doesn't seem like Outlaw pitchers get nights like that too often. 0-1 count with 2 away and a 3-0 Oneonta lead. Big swing and a miss. Taggart checking the runner down to first. Waiting was drifting over quite a bit, so it was lucky he was able to get to that one from Taggart, as that could have gone bad fast if Waiting hadn't had such a good read over there at first. Seen plays like that where catcher, first baseman not necessarily in sync and the ball rolls into right field, and with a runner at second, sometimes scoots around to score, but they stay where they're at, 0-2. Ubner deals. That one reached for and going to get out of the ballpark over the seats on the third base side. So Knight with some good plate defense here in the 8th spot in the order as the Dragons batting 10 against Oneonta for the 3rd time. 5 more meetings between these two teams in the month of July, starting when Oneonta comes back here, and that's Saturday night, July 6th. It'll be a 7 p.m. game. Long look down to second. Ubner, his Knight had called time before that one had been thrown. So don't count that pitch. Would have been ball 1 anyway. Knight, one of his 2 hits coming here at East Field, his other on the road at Watertown. So far, this Dragons team has beaten Albany twice and Boonville once, which accounts for their 3 wins on the summer. 0-2, low and away outside, so the count going to go to 1-2. Again, another big shout out to Marco Moises for dropping by and calling the top half of the second here for you on YouTube. Appreciate Marco and hope you really enjoyed that. It was certainly a fun time to have him stop by the booth here tonight. Gave a shout out as well to Colton Harrison, who you heard from in our pregame show and we talked about, just committed yesterday to go to Northwestern State to finish out his baseball career, or college baseball career, I should say. Is Harrison, another guy on this Outlaw roster with pro aspirations post-graduation. 2-2 now the count on Christian Knight. Runner at second is Bernardo. It's Zoen Collins down at first. Ubner looking square to the plate is 2-2. In there, tight to the belt for ball 3. And so Knight able to work from down 1-2 back full. So the count full with 2 outs. Knight opting to once again take time. It's Mazzarino who waits on deck for the Dragons. Ubner threw 74 pitches in 4 innings against the Diamond Dogs on Saturday. So he's had 5 days. He's on a regular schedule entering into this outing against the Dragons. His payoff pitch belted towards third, and it's in foul territory. So Knight going to see at least one more, as this will be pitch 8 of the at-bat. Longest outing he's had so far this summer is 5 innings, as he's gone 5 innings twice. Once against the Utica Blue Sox in relief, got a win in that one. Turned around later that week on Sunday, threw 5 innings against Boonville in the start, 75 pitches, and got another victory. Another payoff pitch out towards right field, once again in foul territory, as it took a bad curve to the right of the chalk line. And so this will be pitch number 9 to Christian Knight. Really forcing Ubner to work hard with 2 on base here in this bottom of the second. Ubner needed just 13 pitches in total to get through the first inning. And now coming close to almost matching that and just 1 at bat here against Christian Knight in the bottom of the second. Ubner, another payoff offering, low and outside, ball 4. So the bases are going to be full for the Dragons as Bernardo advances over to third, Collins to second, and now Christian Knight on first. So Nick Mazzarini going to come on up. 9 games played. He's hitting 130, 3 for 23 with an RBI, 10 watts, and 4 strikeouts. One of his 3 hits did come against the Outlaws last Wednesday night down at Damaski. Ubner's first offering got him reaching for one low and outside, and he'll trail behind 0-1. Mazzarini from Richmond, Texas, just wrapped up his junior year at East Texas Baptist U. 0-1, Ubner once again quickly ready, and another swing and a miss as Mazzarini going to be down 0-2. Ubner trying to strand the bases full of Dragons here in the bottom of the second. Hit by pitch, a single and a walk is how they've come to be as Glens Falls 2 hits through these first 2 frames. Oneonta 3 runs on 4 hits. Ubner gets the 0-2. Called strike 3 as he gets him looking at one in tight. So Chris Ubner now has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings. He leaves the bases full of Glens Falls Dragons here in the second. And to the third we go. Oneonta, the 3-0 lead. Top of the third inning here on the road for your Outlaws. Now a 3-0 lead as Kyle Kakamis steps up against Riley Orr for his 3rd inning back out there. Kakamis struck out looking in the first, immediately turns on one, shoots it into center field, and he's going to have a leadoff single to begin the 3rd. You love to see the Outlaws being aggressive early in counts, as it always seems to pay off for this team. When they sit back, sometimes it gets to them and not in the way it should, despite, being patient and looking for your pitch. But Oneonta always seems to be better when they're attacking early, being aggressive, and you see it from Kyle Kakamis right there as he's on base to begin the 3rd. First one to Tanner Harden, going to roll through the legs of Knight on the wild pitch. Kakamis a big turnaround second, but he'll hold up there as the count's going to be 1-0. And a wild pitch advancing Kakamis down to second base. Looked like a fastball that just got out of the hand of Orr a bit too awkwardly. Harden singled and came in to score in the 1st inning on the RBI hit from Ethan Glossa. Oneonta going down 1-2-3 back in the 2nd inning on 3 strikeouts when we had Marco Moises here in the booth. 1-0 as the bat caught up high. Harden right up the middle again, off the glove of Orr, able to knock it down, turns it over to first, as that'll be a 1-3 for the 1st out. But it is a productive out, getting Kakamis over to 3rd. Really was a good recovery by Riley Orr to knock that one down with his glove and immediately step to the side and pick that one up, shooting it over to Bernardo for the out. So 1 down in the 4th Oneonta run, just 90 feet away with the lights now on here at East Field in this top of the 3rd. Carrera singled and came in to score back in the 1st, checks his swing, but it is a strike. Riley Orr going to that slider up and away as the count's going to be 0-1. Ethan Gloss is waiting on deck here for the Outlaws. 5 hits now after the leadoff single to begin the inning. This will be ball 1 as the count's going to draw even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Carrera went 0 for 3 with a run, an RBI, a walk, and 2 Ks when the Outlaws were last here. Belts the ball towards short. Mott pits up charging, cross the diamond in time. But Carrera does get an RBI as Kakamis comes in to score. So the Oneonta lead going to go to 4-0 with Kakamis crossing the plate. So 2 away and a 4-0 score for Ethan Glossa. Glossa was talking to him a little bit in batting practice today. He said he's trying to make his approach at the plate a little more simplistic. Wants to work it all from the hands, keep that bat up there a little bit higher and longer and not chase like he has been, even though he has been hitting well, all things considered. Count's going to be 1-0. It's Riley Orr trying to finish off another inning. Dragons are fortunate in the sense for their arm situation that they do have a lot of guys available out there in the bullpen after not having played in some time. Just 1 game over their last 8 days, which was on Sunday night, a 10-6 loss down at Saugerties. 2-0 offering, huge swing and a miss. As the count's going to go 2-1 on Glow. Glossa hunting a fastball up and in is the 2-1. Had one there and he didn't offer. 2-2. So Riley Orr now just 1 good pitch away from getting out of this top half of the third. Oneonta with 1 run already home in the half inning. As Orr bat set with his feet square to home, low and away. And Knight not going to have to aggressively move for that one, but the count is full now. Gloss has played in both games against the Dragons so far. Going to combine 3 for 6. So now make it 4 for 7 after his first inning at bat. Orr wants a new baseball from our own plate umpire. With the count juiced up at 3-2. Dio's coming out and talking to Knight, who it seems like in a little bit of discomfort here for the Dragons after sliding awkwardly on that last pitch. Glossa finally going to come back set in the box. 3-2 count with 2 away. Or looking on home, kits and deals. Glossa reached at that one, and he'll be down via the swinging strikeout. Went fastball low and away, and Glossa retired chasing. To the bottom of the third we go. Oneonta 4-0 lead, and when we come back, we'll take our first look of the evening at the PGCBL out-of-town scoreboard. Bottom of the third inning, it's Christian Mote to lead things off for the Dragons. It's 10-1-2 to come to the plate. Christian Moe rounding out this order against Chris Ubner, who's looked rather good to start his day. That one sailed up high and in for ball one. Moat from Branchburg, New Jersey, hitting just 174 to begin the summer. That one comes in behind him and clipped him on the bat side of the leg. So he's going to be on base to begin this third inning for the Dragons. Moat has yet to record a hit against the Outlaws, as he's gone 0 for 6 with a stolen base entering tonight. Got hit by a pitch once, which was how he got on. Back to the top of the order we go as it's Cato Kleinman. Showed bunt, able to pull it back though as it'll go 1-0 count. Kleinman singled and was caught stealing on the base paths in the first. Big lead over there for Christian Moe as Ubner taking a glance. Bat set as he kicks and fires, up and away for ball two. Kleinman's been a much better hitter at home so far to begin the summer. 4 of his 6 hits have come here at East Field. Check look down to first with Cody Meyer waiting on deck as the 2-0 offering. Called strike on the lower outside. Glens Falls tomorrow going to have another home game as they'll be here against Saugerties, 7 o'clock. Then on Saturday, they'll go to Amsterdam before they're once again home on Sunday against Albany. So a couple of home games in a short amount of time. And a good checklet there to try to get Moat off of first base as he had quite a hefty lead. Great crowd here, all things considered, tonight at East Field for a Thursday night game. Everybody's certainly excited to have their Dragons back. If they're not playing here for 9 days. Up and away. That'll go for ball 3. So the count going to be 3-1 on the leadoff hitter Kleinman. Quick checklet down to first, waiting, ready if Ubner wants to throw. That's going to go low and outside again. Kleinman's on base via the walk. So that'll advance Moat down to second. And the Dragons going to have 2 on base against Chris Ubner to begin the third. Certainly not the start you wanted to the half inning if you're Chris Ubner, as he had to work out of a jam in the second as well. We do have one final already tonight on the PGCBL out-of-town scoreboard. It comes from the Western Division. Cody Meyer to bat. He's flaring that bat around like it's a magic wand. Took a huge hack at one and he couldn't connect at Ubner's fastball, so it'll be a 0-1 count. Geneva and Niagara Falls playing a doubleheader. Red Wings taking game 1, just an hour and 10 minutes to get through 7, a 10-3 score. Top of the 4th inning in Jamestown, the Mutt Dogs lead the Tarps Guns 7-2. Watertown down to Boonville, 3-0 top of the 4th. This one going to skip away from Taggart. Staying put at first is Kleinman, but Moe able to advance over to third via the wild pitch. So now it's going to be runners at the corners in a 1-1 count. So Moat's at third, Kleinman at first, 1-1 count on Meyer. Syracuse Saltcats and Elmira Pioneers were playing a 7-inning exhibition contest. Start at 6:35. Ubner's 1-1. In tight to the knees. That's ball 2. Bottom of the 4th inning in Mohawk Valley, the Blue Sox lead the Diamond Dogs 2-0 in a matchup that's pretty big for the Outlaws standings-wise. Bottom of the 2nd at Colburn Park, Auburn and Newark a 1-1 game. And then in the top of the 1st, in game 2 of the doubleheader between Niagara Falls and Geneva, they are tied at 0-0. Count here at East Field on Cody Myers 2-2 with still nobody away. Runners at the corners for the Dragons, trailing 4-0. Ubner with a quick checklet to first. Comes back set, looking to the plate. Shot straight on back into the matting, and so Meyer going to live to fight another day. Taggart able to flip another ball there to Ubner. Again, this is the third start for Chris Ubner in his 5th appearance of the summer. Taking a little wootsy down to first. Kleinman with a couple of step lead off the bag. Hubner deals. Is that one out towards the right center gap? Going to drop on down for a hit. Cruising in to score comes Christian Moe. Kleinman will stop at second, and the Dragons are on the board here in the 3rd. So a big RBI hit for Cody Meyer, as that's his 4th ribby of the summer. You love when you get some hope, too, because Dragons have yet to put together any big innings so far this summer, as they have not scored more than 3 runs in any half inning. Certainly in business and in a good spot here in this bottom of the 3rd. Down 4-1 is that one right down the gut to Griffin for strike 1. Ubner said he was going to go to that fastball, and he certainly did on that one. Always aggressive in trying to get that first strike. Sits low 90s on his fastball. Again, just wrapped up his junior year at Marist, as that one shot in a foul ground down the right field line. So the count's going to be 0-2. Griffin struck out swinging in the 1st inning, which ended the bottom of the 1st for the Dragons. Had a single, then a bang-bang caught stealing, and then Meyer and Griffin went down back-to-back on swinging Ks. 0-2, in tight to the knees. That's ball 1. Ubner's got to be aggressive in terms of what he's throwing. Wants to try to get out of this half inning as quickly as possible. Luckily for Oneonta, despite having to play 14 innings the last 2 days, they do have a handful of arms available out of their bullpen. Bounce around the infield towards short, scooped up by Carrera. Fired over there in time to get the out at first. So it is a 6-3 to retire Jack Griffin. Kleinman advances to 3rd and Meyer to 2nd. So a productive out to advance the base runners. But at least for Chris Ubner's sake, he gets an out. So 1 down now for Cespedes. Another guy who Ubner's rung up was via swinging K in the 2nd. 4-1 is our score, as the Outlaws looking to get another multi-game win streak, as that one shot on up over the seats on the 3rd baseline, so it'll be an 0-1 count. Outlaws, we talked about it a little bit with Colton Harrison in that pregame interview, which if you missed it, you can rewind and watch it on YouTube, or it's posted on our Facebook and Instagram. Talked about this team has kind of been up and down like a roller coaster so far. Belted high in the air out towards the right center gap. Ross and Burnsworth both going over. Ross waves him off. Going to get a throw in quickly. Both runners tagged, though, and it's a 4-2 score. So Cespedes with an RBI sat fly, and there's 2 down and 2 home in the inning. Myers now at 3rd, as he's just 90 feet away from making it a 1-run ball game. Caden Bernardo going to settle in here for the Dragons. Bernardo, 6'4", 205 from Glenmont. Last played at Oneonta when he went 0 for 4 last Wednesday, and going to trail 0-1 in the count quickly against Chris Ubner. He was hit by a pitch his first time up on a 3-1 back in the 2nd. Now with a runner on base in a 2-run game, we're going to come up with a big hit. 0-1, Ubner kicks and fires, lays off as that's high and up, but a called strike 2. Like the way it broke out of Ubner's hand, he had it destined for just above the zone, but able to get the call on that upper outer edge. 0-2, trying to end the inning. Ubner kicks and fires. Bouncer, 3rd base side, Hardin over to waiting in time. 5-3 is Tanner Hardin. A great defensive play for the Outlaws over there at 3rd. To the 4th inning we go. The Dragons keeping things interesting. It's a 4-2 game here on Outlaws YouTube. Jeremy Taggart going to walk to the plate to begin the top half of the fourth for your Oneonta Outlaws. Excuse me, actually, it's Connor Waiting. I had that wrong in my book. Waiting, playing first base tonight for the Outlaws. Again, I apologize. Connor Waiting at the plate for Oneonta to begin the fourth. Lays off one up and away as that's ball one. Waiting singled, had an RBI, advancing to second where he got stranded in the first inning. Waiting, Taggart, and Ross up here in the fourth for Oneonta. 1-0 in there for a called strike as it'll go to 1-1. Waiting turned on a 1-2, shot it the opposite way his first time up. Or out for a fourth inning to begin this game. Fires a slider in there for a strike two. Getting good movement on his off-speed stuff here against the Outlaws, despite having not pitched since June 15th. Got Waiting, reaching for a fastball, and he'll be down swinging for the first out of the fourth. Very exciting game between these two Eastern Division rivals so far. And when we get to the bottom of the fourth inning, we'll show you the Eastern Division standings board, which we debuted on our YouTube feed at home the other night. Now it's Jeremy Taggart. Taggart struck out looking back in the first inning as Orr in there with a curveball, strike one. Talking to Taggart in batting practice a little bit today. He was talking about how much he loves country music and how energized it gets him before games. He's a big Zach Bryan guy for those of you country fans. Taggart shoots one off in foul ground just above the Dragon dugout as it'll go 0-2. His dream concert is seeing Luke Combs. Just recently saw Morgan Wallen down at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. He's from Long Island, so pretty close to there. Is that one up and away, ball one. So Taggart working the 0-2 to a 1-2 count with one away. 4-2 lead for Oneonta as they cashed in with three in the top of the first, added another when they were at the plate last half inning. Swing and a miss as Taggart went reaching for the high heater. And so there's two quickly away for Orr, who struck out the last three Oneonta hitters he's seen. To Jaden Ross we go in the 7th spot in the Outlaw order. Tonight, game 21. And in all 21, the Outlaws have opted to use not just the designated hitter spot, but also the extra hitter spot in the lineup. Ross with that dark green U.S. South Florida batting helmet lays off one upstairs and away. As that was a good pro take. Ross trying to find some magic again. After going 0 for 2 yesterday against Utica, he did put 2 balls in play, though. He came around on one, draw the count up at 1-1. He was reaching for the slider down and away. There's a lot of fastball curves and sliders for Riley Orr. Not too much more mix up than that. 1-1. Another good take by Ross, laying off one just low and out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Or another offering. Ross with a fastball swing. 2-2. Ross certainly had some words for a home plate umpire after a strikeout looking back in the first inning as the pitch was plenty low and in. Now in a 2-strike count again. Or delivers. Called strike 3 on that lower outside edge. So Jaden Ross going to be rung up looking here to end the Oneonta half of the fourth. To the bottom of the frame we go. 4-2 Outlaw lead. Bottom of the fourth inning, back here at East Field, only on a second trip here so far in 2024. Zoe Collins going to lead off the half inning as it'll be 6-7-8 up to face Chris Ubner, who certainly had to work long and hard in the bottom of the third as the Dragons pushed 2 runs in to score. RBIs from Meyer and Cespedes as Ubner dealing in a first pitch strike to get things started here. Collins singled and got stranded down at second base back in the second inning as the Dragons left the bases loaded that half inning. Got him reaching at 1 down and away, and the count's quickly going to jump to 0-2. Collins, one of his 2 hits so far on the season did come against Oneonta. Ubner with a little let's-see over towards the Dragon dugout. 0-2 offering. Low and away as it'll go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Shane Weatherington, Christian Knight to follow him here in this bottom of the fourth as the Dragons looking to climb back into this one after the early 4-run hole. 1-2. Breaks in there for a called strike 3. Chris Ubner fire up that K counter. There's another. As he's up to 6 through 3 1/3. Had to count, and for those of you who listen quite often, you know math isn't exactly my forte. Shane Weatherington now going to step in. He was one of Ubner's earlier victims as he was struck out looking back in the second and takes one high and upstairs for ball 1. Weatherington went 0 at the plate last Wednesday down at Damaski. 1-0 pitch from Ubner. Sails in there a bit low for ball 2. Ubner bat set from the first base side, the 2-0. Straight on back into the screen as it'll jump to 2-1. Outlaws, we want to remind you, back at home for 4 consecutive games next week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday we'll have Watertown for a 7 o'clock start. Tuesday it's Boonville, another 7 o'clock start. Thursday, 4th of July, with having post-game fireworks. We start at 6 as that one low and outside in the dirt, 3-1. And then another home game against Boonville next Friday at 7. So 4 consecutive games at home after another couple of days on the road for the Outlaws. It's Saturday night going to be at Saugerties, 7:05 start. And then Sunday we're playing 2 at Boonville. Ubner 3-1 pitch. Called strike. Is Weatherington going to make it 3-2? We got a deliberate strike 3 call as he thought he had rung Weatherington up behind the plate, but it was just the 1 strike, and that's exactly what happened against Jeremy Taggart earlier on. So everybody's barking at him now as that one shot straight on back into the screen, and so it'll stay at 3 balls, 2 strikes. So it seems as if our home plate umpire losing track of his counts. Again, we had a situation just like that when Taggart was at the plate for the first time tonight. Full count with 1 down. In there just above the shoes for ball 4. So Ubner is showing the walk, and there's 1 on base here for the Dragons with 1 out. Dragons celebrating like they had just done something remarkable, but Weatherington just getting a walk. And to Christian Knight we go. Knight walked in an 8-pitch at bat back in the second inning against Ubner. Oneonta's bullpen still quiet as that one slow roller in foul territory down the right field line. For those of you who've never been to a game here at East Field or haven't been able to tell by the angles everybody's been running out from, Oneonta's dugout on the third base side, Glens Falls on the first base side. It's the Outlaw pen in left field and the Dragon pen in right. Ubner with a little glance down to first. 0-1 count with 1 away. Knight came around at this one. They say not enough, so the count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. Knight 5'8", 175, getting the benefit of the doubt on that Chet swing call. Ubner's offering in there for a called strike 2. Outlaws have 5 hits so far on the game. The Dragons just 3. Harden kind of in a little bit over on the third base side, waiting, doing a great job holding the runner. Little bouncing ball right side. Got in a foul ground before the bag. So the count going to stay at 1-2. But an always aggressive Connor waiting, showing why he's got such good instincts over there at first on a ball like that. This Outlaw defense doesn't get enough compliments for all the great stuff they do out there. Everybody talks about the errors, but what about all the great plays this team makes out there in the field? At one high and upstairs for ball 2. Everybody seems to talk about trying to get better fielding-wise, but nobody likes to give themselves a pat on the back for all the great things that they're doing out there, because Waiting himself said for all the great plays he's had over there that he's got so much work to do. And sure, you always can get better, but got to give yourself a round of applause when you get some good stuff going for you. And this Outlaw defense certainly riding some highs and lows so far this summer as the count's gone full on Knight. 1 down and Weatherington at first. Looks like we're getting some casual lawn toss going on down in the Oneonta pen, so we'll see if that ramps up. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Advancing down to first goes Christian Knight. So actually it's a strikeout, but a drop third strike at that for Jeremy Taggart. Home plate umpire had converged with his field umpire to make sure that was the right call. So a drop third strike. Ubner does get a K, but unfortunately for his sake, there's now 2 on base and still just 1 away. Weatherington's at second. It's Christian Knight at first. And that one's going to be just above the shoes, ball 1. Mazzarini at the plate here for Glens Falls, trying to pick up their 4th win in the first one against Oneonta since July 8th of last year. They split the season series 4-4 a season ago, as that one going to skip off the chest protector of Taggart, and it'll go 2-0. Home team won 6-8 in the season series between the Dragons and Outlaws in 2023. They had wrapped up their season set by July the 14th last year, as they met 5 times in the first 4 weeks of the season. 2-0, low and away, that's ball 3. As it seems like all of a sudden the zone getting a little tighter for Chris Ubner here in this bottom of the 4th. Ubner trying to work out of a jam again. That third ball finally getting added on the scoreboard here in-house. Kitson fires. In there for a strike. Very casual strike call, but 3-1. Mazzarini struck out looking in the second. Trying to hang around here and force Ubner to give him something to hit. Ubner bats it, Kitson deals, shot on off, diagonal behind the plate to make the count once again full. 3rd consecutive full count that Chris Ubner's worked into here in the 4th inning. 6-1 in total on the ball game. Had 1 apiece in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Is Ubner's full count, swing and a miss. That's going to retire the Dragons here in this bottom of the 4th as we go top 5 here on Oneonta YouTube. Still a 4-2 score. Dylan Millman to lead off the top of the fifth for your Outlaws. 4-2 lead as Orr remains on the bump for the Dragons. First offering of the inning, Millman turns on it, shoots it straight up the middle. Picked on up and fired to first as Kleinman to Bernardo, completing out number one. Kleinman certainly hasn't had many balls hit his way so far tonight, but taking advantage when he gets the opportunity, showing off his range to the left. So Millman retired, 1 pitch, 1 out to begin the fifth. And to Darren Dangler we go in the 9 spot in the Outlaw lineup. Dangler struck out swinging in his last at bat in the second. That one up there, but a called strike. Dangler returning to the lineup for the first time since last Wednesday night against Glens Falls. Went 0 for 2 with an RBI, 2 walks and a strikeout that night. Turned around on the 0-1, and he'll quickly trail 0-2. Dangler was on his senior trip for a couple of days as they split time between Ocean City, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. Said he certainly enjoyed the Maryland part much more than the museums of Washington, D.C., which I'm sure you all can guess why if you're a big beach lover. 0-2, Dangler able to shoot that one off up over the screen, past the seats as well, and out of the park. Dangler's graduation coming up this weekend at South Courtright, so him and his brother Brian down in the Outlaw Pen took player of the game 1 yesterday in Utica. Not going to be making the trip to Saugerties on Saturday. Dangler with 2 consecutive foul balls with 2 strikes, so he's seen 4 pitches, has an 0-2 count with 1 out. 3 home matchups against the Dragons and 5 road for the Outlaws. So 5 trips here to Eastfield. This is just the second. Comes up high, but rings him up looking. Dangler doesn't reach around for that one, and he gets the backwards K. 2 are away here in the 5th. Into Owen Burnsworth we go. Burnsworth playing right field tonight for Oneonta. Has kind of been in and out in terms of the outfield and being in the DH or EH spot for this club. Lays off the first one as that was a good take, up and away. Or went to the slider that time and was hoping Burnsworth would try to pull at it. 1-0 again. High for ball 2. So 2-0 count. Burnsworth struck out looking back in the second his last time up. As Orr deals this one in tight to the knees for ball 3. Burnsworth in a take count. 3-0, hoping Orr will miss the plate one more time. Called strike on that lower outside. And it'll go 3 balls, 1 strike. Three-one count on Burnsworth, 2 down, Orr fires. Burnsworth able to shoot that one straight on back. And so Orr, after working ahead, 3-0. Now back in a payoff count, 3-2. So 3-2 count. Burnsworth down the right field line. So Burnsworth living on a prayer here with 2 down. Or again, Kitson fires high and away. That's ball 4. So Burnsworth going to be on base for the first time tonight, and he keeps the inning alive with 2 outs. We'll go back to the top of the Oneonta order for Kyle Kakamis, who's been red hot, very consistent up there at the top of the order to start. Playing in just his 3rd game, and he's already been on base 7 times, including 4 walks the other night against Mohawk Valley as he tipped that one off the bat, and Knight sprung up like a jackrabbit, try to keep that one close. So 0-1 will be the count on Kakamas. Just finished up his senior year out at St. Bonaventure. As we said, he had a small sample size at the end of last season in PGCBL ball. Played 3 games for Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska a year ago. Off that lower outside, they call it a strike. And Kakamas, 2 straight. And Orr trying to get 1 more strike and get out of this inning. There's been action down in the Dragon pen, so this is probably going to be the end of the day for him. Not that you can bank on it. 0-2, Brait's in there. It's a bit high off that upper outside. 1-2. One-two count, 2 are away. Taking a long glance to first. Burnsworth with a healthy lead off the bat. Probably going to be on the move. Drop third strike. Caught off the bat. Umpires wave this one down. Flipped underhand to first. And that was certainly a sequence. Thought Kakamas had been down swinging, but it'll be a 1-3 to get him over there at the first base bench. So halfway home in this one. And ladies and gentlemen, the Outlaws, a 4-2 lead. Bottom 5, we go. Bottom of the 5th inning, and now the book's going to be closed on Chris Ubner as he goes 4 innings, gives up 2 runs, both with charges earned, 3 hits and 4 wants to the Glens Falls Dragons. First man out of the pen tonight for Keaton Mark and Josiah Aska going to be Adam Champlin, who's pitching for just the 3rd time so far this summer. Champlin, a 1-0 record, 5 innings pitched. His last outing was on June 12th, so it's been a little over 2 weeks since he was last out there. 3 hits, or 1 run, 3 walks, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned down at Saugerties in a 7-1 loss. As Champlin steps and delivers the first pitch of the inning for a strike. Champlin seeing Christian Moat to begin his evening. As Champlin try to get Moat chasing at one, but it'll be ball 1 as he's able to lay off. His lone win came against the Watertown Rapid way back when in week 1 of the season. Went 2 innings in that game, gave up 2 runs, both of which were earned, and a hit and 2 walks. Is the count now going to go 1-2 on Moat? He was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd, came in to score as the Dragons put 2 across that half inning. Reached it 1 low and outside, and he's going to be down swinging here to begin the Dragon half of the 5th. Gatode Kleinman as we turn things back over to the top of the Dragon order. Kleinman has singled and walked so far and scored a run as this one shot out towards left field and foul ground. Curves just to the left of the Oneonta pen and out of the park. This is pretty shallow out there, all things considered. It's just past the bullpen. In the seating bowl, you get a tree line out there. So 0-1 going to be the count on Kleinman. Trying to reach base for the third time to begin the day against the Outlaw staff. Ubner now out after 4 innings. It's Adam Champlin, if you didn't hear already. 0-2. He's able to work ahead on the first 2 hitters he sees. Quick look at the on-deck circle. Now the 0-2. Shot out in the air towards left field. Glossa charging in. Kemp's underneath it for the out. Ethan Glossa, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? That man has got some speed. That man's got some agility out there in left field. Glossa was set up quite a ways back towards the fence and charged in to pull that ball down for the out. 2 are away for Cody Meyer. As Champlin fires that one in. It was a beauty for a strike 1 call. Took a nice break into the upper inside of the zone. Meyer 1 for 2 with an RBI. Checks his swing, and he did come around, so 0-2. It was a fastball down and away in the zone, and the Dragons chirping after that one, but certainly brought his bat around, was trying to chase. Champlin from the first base side, the 0-2. Off the glove of Taggart, going to roll behind the plate as it'll go 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dragons entering tonight, not a team who has had the best of starts at the plate. Just a 196 team average, 14 extra base hits, 11 of which have been doubles, 3 triples, no team homers as of yet. Shot through the hole on the left side of the infield. Glossa is going to pick it up. But Cody Meyer, the damage is done. He's got himself a single, and the inning going to keep on going. So Meyer with 2 hits now in the ball game, and Jack Griffin going to come on up. Griffin's 0 for 2 to start his night. He struck out swinging in the first, grounded out, sits 3 in the third. Champlin with a little quick glance to first. Bat set, looking to the plate. Comes in just below the zone with that one. Taggart was trying to frame it well, but just couldn't sell it, clipping that bottom line of the zone. Champlin's 1-0 pitch. Shot out towards center field. Ross charging back, yanks it down for the out. That'll be an F8 for out number 3, and the Dragons strand another on base. To the 6th we go. Here in Glens Falls, your score remains 4-2, Oneonta. 2-3-4 for Oneonta to hit here in the 6th inning, and we called it. We got a call to the bullpen for the Dragons. Is Ryan Johnston going to be the first man out of the pen? Clips the lower outside corner of the zone against Tanner Harden to get his outing started. Ryan Johnston pitching for the 4th time. He's thrown 8 innings, has a 5.62 ERA, and he's from Del Mar, New York. Harden able to shoot this one on off out of here over the seats on the third baseline, so it'll quickly be 0-2. Johnston has not pitched since June the 15th at Saugerties. 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, and he walked 2, facing 10 Stallions that night. 0-2 from the first base side. Kitson fires low, and that'll go off Knight, rolling back behind the plate. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Harden able to shoot one just to the left of the Dragon dugout, so the count stays the same. You guys know if there's a new pitcher in? 1-2 from the first base side. Harden able to shoot this one up high, left side of the infield. Griffin and Moat. It's Moat who waves off Griffin, but Griffin's still able to come down with it. So it's a P5 for out number 1. So Matt Carrera going to come on up. He has a quick conversation with Tanner Harden about what to expect here in this at-bat. Johnston, his longest outing so far has been 3 1/3, as that one broken tight to Carrera for ball 1. Just wrapped up his freshman year at Siena College. Coming to the Dragons for his first summer in the PGCBL. Is that one in there for a called strike? So it goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. It's the first outing he's had truly here at home as the home pitcher. Is on June 1st when they played Albany here in the Butch's in away appearance, but both those games were here at Glens Falls. So first time he's true home pitcher. As he kicks and fires now in a 2-1. Carrera, bouncer right side of the infield, off the glove of Bernardo, and that should be an E3. So Carrera going to be on base with 1 down, and they do put an E on the board. No doubt about that one, as Bernard should have had the easy 3-1 put away at the first base bag. And to Ethan Glosser we go. Glosser 1 for 2 to start his day. With a heavy knee bend in the box at the moment. Reached it one, it was a fastball. And he'll fall behind 0-1. Outlaws tomorrow going to have an off day before Saturday night. We'll be down at Saugerties, 7:05 first pitch. So we'll be live here with you on YouTube about 6:50 or so. Low and away outside. Is Glosser a good take, and it'll draw even to 1-1. Long looks to first. Carrera's on the move. Gun throw from Knight behind the plate down the second. Tag slapped on, and they call it safe. Kleinman really thought he had him down there and doesn't love that. It's a stolen base for Matt Carrera, who's able to get in scoring position in a 2-run game with one of Oneonta's hottest hitters up at the plate. So the count now 2-1. Is Glosser going to come back? Taking some big practice hats. Carrera is going to take a big lead off a second. 5-4, the hits favor the Outlaws. Carrera able to get on base, courtesy of an E3. First error committed by either team so far tonight. Johnston fires in there. Glosser belted out towards center. That's going to fall in. Carrera with a big turnaround third. We'll have a play at the plate. Knight not going to have that one. He's in the baseline. And Carrera is going to score. So there was no doubt about it, but Carrera able to score, and it's going to be a 5-2 game. It'll be an RBI double for Ethan Glossa, and we'll go to Connor Wading. Wading 1 for 2 to start the game tonight. He had an RBI single back in the first, struck out swinging in the fourth. So that's the 6th hit of the night, and Ethan Glossa with his second RBI of the game. It's now a 3-run advantage for Oneonta. First offering of the at-bat, low, but a called strike as Wading going to fall behind 0-1. Johnston really seen his ERA climb with his last couple appearances. Is that one going to break in there for a called strike 2? Again, this is the first time he's pitched on the home mound here at Eastfield so far this summer. Trying to shake off the rust after having not thrown since June 15th as the 0-2 in there tight, ball 1. Behind Connor Wading, it's Jeremy Tagger who waits on deck for the Outlaws. Already 1 run home in the inning, and Glossa bed lead off a second. Johnston's 1-2. Wading reached for that one, and he'll be down swinging. Went to the off-speed, low and away, and got Wading chasing. And so it will be Tagger, but now 2 outs. Taggart a pair of strikeouts so far in the game as he's 0 for 2. Went down looking in the first, down swinging in the third. Johnston kicks and fires. Taggart reaching for one low and away as he'll fall behind 0-1. Taggart on a 2-game hitless drought, trying to raise his average after a slow start to the summer. Glossa playing games off the second base pad, trying to draw a throw. 0-1, low and away outside. Knight able to keep it in front. Glossa's trying to bait him to a throw down there to second base. Nobody holding him tight to the bag. As Mode set up on a diagonal. Kleinman now going to kind of come in, drift off towards the right side. 1-1. In just above the shoes as that's ball 2. First time that Taggart's worked ahead in at bat so far tonight. If they need him in this half inning, it's Jaden Ross on deck for the Outlaws. 2-1 pitch. Glossa's on the move. That one going to clip Taggart. And Glossa able to slide in there head first. And so it'll be runners at the corners with 2 outs for Jaden Ross. Actually, they're going to flip Glossa back to second. So Glossa still at second and Taggart at first, courtesy of the hit by pitch. First and second, 2 away for Jaden Ross, who also has 2 strikeouts to start his night. Both of them looking. One he was sent down on in the first, pretty low and in. The one he was sent down on in the fourth, pretty outside and low. Is that one going to be low and outside? And he'll hold up to make the count 1-0. Johnston with an ERA just north of 6 in his freshman year at Siena and a couple limited appearances. Ross shows bunt, able to pull it back, but takes the strike call anyway, 1-1. Outlaws hoping they can hold on to this lead and the bullpen can get some good innings before the off day tomorrow. A long glance to second. Now again the 1-1. That came in and hit Ross. Flipped him right on the hand, and he's in some discomfort. Ross walking back towards the Oneonta dugout. As he's bent over. We'll see if he'll stay in the game. Certainly not what you want to see is Jaden Ross, one of the great leaders on this team. Keaton Mark came in and had a quick conversation with him, and it looks like Ross is going to stay in. Back-to-back hit by pitches. Both have been pitches that have creeped up and in. So got to wonder what's up with the command of Ryan Johnston. Is Dylan Millman now going to come up with the bases full of Outlaws and 1 run already home here in the 6th. Millman 0 for 2 to start the game. Trying to break that up and change the tune of his night. Lays off the first one. It's ball 1. Outlaws still clinging on to the 3rd place spot in the Eastern Division, 10-9-1 after the split yesterday in the doubleheader with the Utica Blue Sox. Millman lays off another as that broke low and away outside. 2 balls, no strikes. It's Gloss at 3rd, Taggart's down at 2nd, and Jaden Ross now at 1st. 2-0 pitch. Millman drilled right up the middle. Going to take a skip and roll in the shallow center. 2 runs going to score for the Outlaws. Throw sails high over the plate, trying to score a 3rd run. Jaden Ross cruising, can't slap the tag on. And 3 runs cross the plate. It's going to break this game wide open as it's now 8-2. Millman gets all the way to 2nd. We'll see if they add an error on that play, but for now, we're going to give Millman 3 RBIs. He clears the bases as Glossa, Taggart, and Ross all come in to score. We go to Darren Dangler. As now Millman with a hefty lead off the second base bag. Low and away outside. Dangler able to hold up. That ball off the bat of Millman took a bad hop off the back of the outfield dirt. Didn't give Mazzarini a good read on it in center field. 1-0. Comes up and away for a called strike. Dangler started his day with a couple of strikeouts, a swinging K in the 2nd, looking K in the 5th, so he's up at the plate for the 2nd consecutive inning. 4 runs now home in the half inning as the Outlaws continuing to score with 2 outs like they have all summer. Rolls to the legs of Mode over at short. Millman going to hold up at 3rd, so that should be an E6. To be the 2nd error of the half inning by the infield. It's going to be 1st and 3rd for Oneonta, still with 2 outs. And Owen Burnsworth back up for a 3rd time. Burnsworth walked in the 5th inning after trailing in the count 1-2. First offering low and away outside from Johnston. As Burnsworth going to try to turn on one, stretch this lead out even further as it's now a 6-run lead here in the 6th. 6 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors in the field for the Dragons as this one straight on back and going to roll out of East Field for a 1-1 count. When we head to the bottom half of the inning, we'll run through the Eastern Division standings. And then in the 7th, we'll take another look at the PGCBL out-of-town scoreboard as the count going to move to 2-1 on the right fielder. Outlaws haven't had a lot of hard-hit balls in this game, but they've got the job done anyway thus far. 2-1 pitch from Johnston. Burnsworth reached for one, and it draws back even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even keel, 50-50 weight on both feet is Burnsworth. Johnston working almost from the stretch. Burnsworth reached for one and pulled it out in the shallow right. Takes a hop, another run's going to score. Turning, heading over to 3rd goes Darren Dangler. Going to be runners at the corners again, still with 2 outs, and now a 9-2 game as Burnsworth getting his 2nd RBI of the season. So Dylan Millman crosses the plate. Dangler gets over to 3rd. We go back to the top of the order for Kyle Kakamas as he's the 10th Outlaw to hit here in this half inning. 9-2 game as it's been quite an eventful one. Kakamas out into the left center gap. That one falls down. Dandler going to come in and score. Pulling up down at second is Burnsworth. He'll stop there. So first and second now with still 2 outs in a 10-2 game. All but one of these runs have scored with 2 outs. And now we're going to get a trip out from Matt Dio. Tanner Hardin will come up in a 2-out spot for Oneonta, now with an 8-run lead. Just for context, for those of you who do not know, the mercy run rule in the PGCBL is 10 or more after 7, so the Outlaws, with a couple more runs, would end this game early tonight. They've mercy run ruled the Dragons first 2 times they've seen them. 15-5 back here on June the 3rd. That game only lasted 7. And then Glossa with the RBI hit to end of the game last Wednesday night, 14-4 in the 8th. So Hardin with 2 on base and 2 out. 10-2 score. Is that one going to miss low and outside? Hardin started off this half inning with a pop out to third base on a 1-2. Started his day 1 for 2, and he does have a run scored. As Johnston's 1-0 in, just a bit low for ball 2. It's Burnsworth at second, and now Kakamas at first. Is it 2-0, skipping in there, and Knight quickly fired the mask off to make it 3-0. Got a chance to meet Tanner Hardin's grandparents who are up here in attendance at Eastfield. Just a few minutes ago before this half inning had started. Maybe they were the good luck charm for this Outlaw offense who's put 6 runs home in this half inning. Scored 3 in the top of the first, 1 in top third. Now sits in this half inning. Is Hardin going to take a strike? Good take on a 3-0. As the count's now going to move 3-1. Now 10 hits in the game for the Outlaws. It's Hardin out to shallow center field. Charging in comes Masserini, and he's able to yank it down for the out. So the Outlaws strand a pair on base, but they also push 6 runs home in the inning. To the bottom half of the 6th we go. 10-2. Now your score. Bottom 6 back here on Outlaws YouTube. Adam Champlin back out for another inning. Bottom of the 5th, he saw 4 hitters, gave up a single, was able to work around it. So Oneonta then turns around and pushes up 6 runs. So Champlin going to try to keep this thing where it's at and give the Outlaws a chance in the top 7th to do something they've done a couple of times already this summer. First one, a bouncer right towards Wade. Skip past his glove. That was a hard hit ball, so that should be a single, not an error. Into right field, got misplayed by Burnsworth, goes all the way to the wall, turning and chugging for third, and he'll stop there. That's Cespedes. all the way in the third, and we'll see how they score that one. Was a hard hit ball to begin with, and maybe, if anything, give an E9 on that one as Burnsworth misplayed that ball in right field. So it's going to be Caden Bernardo now with a run just 90 feet away. Outlaw defense will shift in a little bit on the infield as Bernardo, a little bouncer, going to roll just to the left of the Outlaw dugout in foul territory, so it'll be 0-1. And we want to flash our standings board up for you. Amsterdam leading the East Division with a 16-3 record. Saugerties is in second with a 15-4-1 mark. As this one, another bouncer, foul territory left field side, so it'll be 0-2. Third place, Mohawk, 10-7-1. Oneonta now 10-9-1 in fourth. Utica, 10-10-1. Watertown sixth with a 7-13 mark. Albany in seventh, 5-10-1. Boonville eighth, 5-12-0. And Glens Falls now at the bottom, 3-12-1. With a strikeout swinging, Caden Bernardo down for the first out of the inning. And so it'll be Zoe Collins up next. So they did end up giving an error on that play for Cespedes to get all the way to third. Now Champlin trying to battle back and leave him there. Is that one going to miss in tight? Ball one. Zoe Collins 1 for 2 to start the game as he has a single and a strikeout looking. Lays off this one as that'll be a strike. 1-1. Dragons with the fewest games played in the division so far, as this is just their 17th game. Oneonta now on game 21. Is that one in tight to the knees? 2-1. Outlaws actually have the most games played in the East Division and a tie with Utica for that department so far. 2-1. Shot on up over the seats on the first baseline in foul territory, so it'll draw back even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glens Falls now with 2 runs on 5 hits and have a pair of errors in the field. Oneonta's pushed 10 home, 10 hits and an error. Champlin lost his cap in a swing and a miss at that. Threw it so hard that he lost his hat. And he gets Collins down swinging, so bat-to-bat swinging K's after the leadoff ball put in play by Cespedes on the first pitch of the inning. Shane Weatherington is Adam Champlin trying to get out of the 6th inning and get the Outlaws back to the plate. Struck out looking and walked so far. Champlin goes to the off-speed. It's ahead 0-1. Champlin with his toes pointed towards third. Kicks that one in there, low and away, just off the outside, 1-1. So Weatherington, 1-1 count. Christian Knight on deck. Champlin again lost his hat as that one's skipping off the plate to make it 2-1. Dragons do have action down in their bullpens. We'll probably see a new arm in the 7th inning after a rough sit for Ryan Johnston, who gave up 6 runs. 2-1 from Champlin. In there for a called strike 2. And now Champlin, one good pitch away from straining the leadoff man at third. Big lead over there for Cespedes in an 8-run game, 10-2. Champlin deals. Calls strike 3 as he rings him up on the lower outside corner. So talk about an inning. Leadoff error to get Cespedes over to third, and then Champlin turns around and strikes out 3 in a row. To the top of the 7th we go. The Outlaws still lead this thing 10-2. Top of the 7th inning as the Outlaws lead, still going to stand at 10-2. New pitcher out of the Dragons bullpen is Trevor Corlo. 6'1", 195, just finished his senior year at Castleton, and this is his 6th appearance of the summer out of the Dragons pen as he sees Matt Carrera to start off the half inning. Carrera takes the first pitch ball up and away, and the count will quickly jump to 1-0. Corlo pitching for the first time since June 16th when he went 2 innings in a 4-2 loss against Saugerties, walking 1. Have a couple of changes on the defensive side of the ball for the Dragons as well as Corlo low and away outside, ball 2. Andrew Gabriel in at shortstop to relieve Christian Moat, whose day is over, and Justin Boiva going to take over in center field for Nick Mazzarini. 2-0 count. Carrera hacking at one and going to shoot it on off foul into the seats on the first base side. So 2-1 it'll go. Behind Carrera in the half inning, it'll be Ethan Glossa and Connor Wading. Outlaws probably going to try to run Adam Champlin out for another inning, depending on how this half inning goes. Getting over to third, Corlo's 2-1. Low and outside, but a called strike 2 anyway. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Carrera's been on base twice tonight, has 2 runs scored and an RBI. Two from Corlo. Rings him up looking on that lower outside edge of the zone. So Carrera doesn't go reaching for that one. And now Ethan Glossa going to come up again. Pair of RBI hits, also has a run scored, one of which was a double, so Glossa continuing to stay red hot at the plate. Glossa now with 5 hits and 9 tries against the Glens Falls Dragons so far on the season series. That one low and away, picked on the backhand by Knight, 1-0 count. Gloss's RBI double in the 6th inning was what really got the floodgates open for Oneonta. 1-0, lays off again, it's ball 2. So Glossa heading the count 2-0 with the score now 10-2. Corlo looks and fires, that one low and away outside, ball 3. Glossa trying to get on base for the 3rd time in this game. Corlo sets and fires. Low and away outside, ball 4. Ethan Glossa going to draw the walk, and he's on base with 1 out here in the 7th. So Connor Wading going to come up now, 1 for 3. Wading struck out in back-to-back at-bats swinging. Big lead off of first for Ethan Glossa over there. Corlo, quick glance home as that one about skipped in the dirt, so it'll be ball 1. So we're going to get a mound trip from Knight out to see Corlo, which is probably much needed here, trying to stay in sync because the Dragons know what's at stake here. With 2 more Oneonta runs, they'd be put on the brink of having this game end early. As promised, another look at the PGCBL out-of-town scoreboard. Game 1, Geneva taking down Niagara Falls 10-3 earlier this evening. Bottom of the 6th, Batavia Mutt Dogs lead Jamestown 15-2. Boonville has a 9-1 lead on Watertown in the bottom half of the 7th. Syracuse Saltcats and Elmira Pioneers play a 7-inning exhibition that started at 6:35. We're going to miss low and off the plate to Wading, so it'll be ball 2. So bottom of the 8th, Mohawk Valley 5-3 lead on Utica. Bottom 6, Auburn leads Newark 6-5. And in the top of the 6th in Game 2, Niagara Falls and Geneva are tied up 3 apiece. 2-0 pitch. Again, going to miss low and away outside, so it's ball 3. It's Corlo in danger of issuing back-to-back walks here in an 8-run game. Outlaws right back here to Glens Falls next Saturday night, as they still have 3 more trips up here to Eastfield. They're high, but a called strike as it'll go 3-1. 8 meetings total in 2024 between the Outlaws and Dragons. Second most frequent opponent in terms of competency on the schedule for Oneonta, only behind Mohawk Valley, who they see 9 times as that one comes in tight to waiting, bats him up as it's ball 4. So back-to-back watch for Trevor Corlow, who's had issues with that so far on his stat line this summer. Jeremy Taggart, the next man up for the Outlaws. He's the 6-hole hitter in the lineup. Behind him, Jaden Ross, Dylan Millman. Taggart taking a couple of good practice hats before stepping in. Gloss at second, waiting at first, 1 out to 10-2 advantage. Corlow looking on home with this one. It's Taggart who wants to sail low and away. Taggart scoring a run in the 6th. As he was hit by a pitch, came cruising on in to score. Long look down to second. Corlow fires that one in as that shot off and into the seats to make it a 1-1 count. Trevor Corlow pitching at home here for the 3rd time, both times of which this team has lost in games that he's appeared in. The Glens Falls Dragons are 0-5. They do have a 3-12-1 record overall. Middle infielders drifting in a bit as that one missing in low, ball 2. Shortest outing was 2/3 of an inning against the Boonville Lumberjacks back on June the 9th. That's where his loss came from. So he gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 of which were earned as he only saw 6 batters. 2-1 count now on Jeremy Taggart with 1 away. Corlow fires in, skips in the dirt. One rolls up the third baseline, and both base runners are going to move on over. So now it's second and third. Loss at third, waiting at second. And first base, the only bag open. Everybody stuck things out at Eastfield here tonight. Big crowd that came out here on a Thursday night. Is the 3-1. Lays off, that's ball 4. So Taggart drawing the walk, and the bases are going to be full of Outlaws here in the 7th for Jaden Ross. Ross's last time up was hit by a pitch on his left hand, was clearly in some discomfort, but stayed in the ball game. Now coming up, probably with revenge on his mind, with the bases full. Corlow steps and fires, goes up and away with 1. As that was a good take. Ross, before the hit by pitch in the 6th, had struck out twice, trying to put a ball in play for the first time tonight. 1-0 offering, goes fastball low and away. So 2-0. Good move by Knight, keep that one in front. Good sportsmanship by Ross to dust off his mask for him and give it back to him. All class, the number 12 on this Oneonta roster. (2-0) is Corlow, bat set from the stretch, deals in high and away, ball 3, and he's got nowhere to put Ross. With the bases loaded, 1 more ball, he'd walk in a run. Ross has been pretty patient in his approach so far this summer. 7 walks through his first handful of games played. Takes a strike, though, on this one. So it'll go 3-1. Corlow, 2 fastballs, 2 off-speed pitches so far in his mix-up. 3-1 count. That's it. Kits and fires. Ross smokes one out to the gap in left center. Played on the 1-hop by Boiva. 1 run's going to score, and it's going to be 11-2. One rolled away from Knight, and a good backup by his pitcher in Corlow. You love to see Ross come up with a big hit an RBI single. As he's been having a rough start to the season, so any positivity and any good thing that he can have, always something to smile about, no matter what the score is, no matter what the circumstance is. So down we go to Dylan Millman now with a 9-run lead and 1 out. Millman watches one sail in there. Low and outside, so it's strike 1. Millman 1 for 3 on the ball game. At that RBI bases clearing triple in the 6th, or bases clearing double, excuse me. 0-1, skips in front. Knight able to lay out, so it'll go 1-1. And starting to get buggy real fast here at Eastfield. So Millman in a 1-1 count, 1 away. Bases full for the Outlaws. Trying to add a few more on the board. Corlo sails a fastball in there for a strike, so it'll be 1-2. Millman got to be swinging at anything close now with 2 strikes. He's taking a long glance down to first. That should be Corlo's least concern. Is 1-2. Little bouncer in fair territory right in front of the plate. Corlo scoops, fires to first. A run scores, though. So an RBI, as it'll be a 1-3 for out number 2. Waiting crosses the plate to make it 12-2. And there's still going to be runners at second and third now with 2 outs. Runner at third is Taggart. Runner at second is J. Ross. And it's Darren Dangler to hit for the Outlaws. So we'll see what Dangler can do. He's all technically 0 for 3 as he did reach on an error. Is that one going to miss for ball 1? Also scored a run in the 6th inning. As that was Oneonta's biggest frame of the night, 6 runs in the 6th. Dangler jumps ahead 1-0. As Corlo goes fastball and gets a strike call. 1-1 count on Dangler. Couple of step lead for both Taggart and Ross. Corlo taking quite a bit of time on this one, and Dangler opts to call time. So he'll settle back in. 1-1 count, 2 away. First base open here for the Outlaws. Corlo fires. Dangler going to hold up the runners as that's ball 2. Knight having to come out from his crouch quite a bit in this half inning. So 2-1. In the Outlaws, an off day tomorrow before they go to Saugerties on Saturday, to Boonville for a doubleheader Sunday. That one pounds in there for a strike. And now Corlo, one good pitch away from getting out of this top of the 7th and straight in 2 on base. Oneonta's left 3 on base so far in this game, which is down a little bit from yesterday, leaving 6 on base in game 1, 7 on base in game 2 against Utica. Dangler turns on one, shooting it the opposite way in foul territory to hang alive in the count. Runners being left on base in big situations has been one of the Outlaws' biggest problems so far. Corlo comes bat set, is 2-2. Dangler straight on back into the screen. So this will be pitch 7 coming up. If they need him in this half inning, Owen Burnsworth, the 10-hole hitter, waiting on deck. As the Outlaws in the bottom of their lineup for the 4th time in this game here in just the 7th inning. 12 runs now on 11 hits. Is Corlo back ready with the 2-2 again, low and away outside, ball 3. Dangler once again telling them to hold up. So the count is full. It's the 4th full count of the half inning for Trevor Corlo. He's thrown a lot of pitches and probably won't be available for a few days for the Dragons bullpen. They do have 3 straight games, 3 straight days coming up the next couple, including a home game tomorrow as Dangler draws ball 4. So Dangler laying off a 1, low and away, and the base is going to be full as a result with 2 outs for Owen Burnsworth. We got Matt Dio making a trip out to the mound as the Dragons going to make a pitching change. Trevor Corlo gives the ball to his head coach, and out of the game he comes. So bases full for Oneonta. 2 runs already home in the half inning. Now they have a 10-run lead as the Dragons once again go to the bullpen. The Dragons go to mop-up duty as they turn things over to a position player, an infielder at that, and Kyle Wu with 2 away here in the 7th inning. It's his first pitching appearance of the summer. Just wrapped up his senior year at Wheaton College. 6'0", 180. He has hit in 11 games, has a 212 average at the plate. Sails a strike in there to Owen Burnsworth to start the at-bat. Down at third is Jeremy Taggart. Jaden Ross stands at second, and Darren Dangler's at first. We did have some interesting times after the pitching change as Matt Dio was thrown out of the game. So the head coach for the Dragons out here in the 7th inning with now a 1-1 count. Burnsworth with a high fly drive out in the left field foul territory. Big race over there. Couldn't get there in time. Was Meyer, but he certainly showed off his range. As the Dragons had both their corner outfielders pinched in, and Meyer took a long run, and now the count's 1-2 on Burnsworth. Wu trying to get him out of here and end this half inning and give the Dragons a chance to get back to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. They would have to score to keep this game going, as the Outlaws now a 10-run lead. Sails in tight to Burnsworth, so that's ball 2, and the count will go back even. Glens Falls tomorrow hosts Saugerties. Saturday they'll be at Amsterdam before they host Albany Sunday. Burnsworth turns on another. That's up in foul territory. Curves past the lights and into the trees out in the left field corner. So 5 pitches, now Burnsworth seen. Coach Gonzalez takes over the helm for the Glens Falls Dragons here. 2-2. In there a bit low. Burnsworth will sell that call for a ball 3, and the count's now gone full. Nowhere to put him with the bases loaded. Burnsworth on the left side of the infield. Griffin thrown out of the air to Bernardo. In time over there at first. So that's a 5-3 to send down Burnsworth for the third out. The Dragons will come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to score to keep this game going, as by the mercy run rule, if the Outlaws lead by 10 after the 7th inning comes to a close, this one will be over. Bottom of the 7th inning, and Adam Champlin going to remain in the game for the Outlaws as he's going to see 8, 9, 10 in the Dragons order, led off by Christian Knight. First pitch in there for a called strike one on the lower outside. So he quickly works ahead. Champlin coming out of the bullpen to relieve Chris Ubner, who threw the first 4 innings of this game and held the Dragons to just 2 runs and 4 hits. Champlin looked like that pitch was about in the same spot, but it draws even anyway at 1-1. 1-1, up and away, ball 2. So the count's going to go 2-1. Is Champlin. Sails one in there for a called strike on a fastball, 2-2. Big swing and a miss as he gets Knight reaching for one, and there's one down here in the 7th. So he sent Knight down swinging, reaching for a fastball. And now next up, it's going to be Justin Boiva. Boiva coming in to relieve Nick Mazzarini. Is that one going to be a strike? 282 average, 11 for 39 is Boiva. He has 5 of the 11 Glens Falls Dragons extra base hits, 4 doubles and a triple, as it'll go to 0-2. He's second on the team in batting average, heading into this plate trip to Cody Meyer, who's hitting second in the order. The 0-2 from Champlin, loses his hat. Is that one low and away? Ball 1. So the count 1-2 with 1 away. Christian Moat got pulled out of the game as well, so Andrew Gabriel stands on deck as he gets rung up looking. Justin Boiva going to take the backwards K, and there's 2 away as Champlin needs just 1 more out. So the Dragons, faith left in Andrew Gabriel to try to keep this game going. 5'11", 175 is Gabriel. He's hitting .250, 5 games played, 1 for 3 as he puts one in play out towards right. Camping underneath it in the corner is Burnsworth, and the Outlaws are winners tonight, 12-2. Burnsworth able to pull that one out of the air in the corner to retire Andrew Gabriel on the fly ball out. So Oneonta is going to move to 11-9-1, and the Dragons drop to 3-13-1. So we are going to step aside and take a quick break here on Outlaws YouTube. When we come back, we'll wrap things up for you tonight. So the Outlaws going to move to 11-9-1 with a win tonight. Back above 500 by 2 games. 12 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. And Glens Falls, 2 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors. Oneonta going to be next in action Saturday night down at Saugerties. A 7:05 start. Glens Falls Dragons Friday night, the host Saugerties. So they have to jump right back to it tomorrow. They just couldn't seem to get the bats going. They'd been off for quite some time, so got to give the Dragons a little bit of benefit of the doubt, as had not played a full game in 9 days, which was certainly something we harped on early. But 12-2 the final scores. The Outlaws winners tonight in this one. We got a hard look for player of the game to see who's going to take the victory tonight. Certainly got some plays of the game in mind, but you'll have to keep tuned tomorrow on our socials to see who takes play of the game and what our plays of the game are going to be tonight. Oneonta 12-2 over the Dragons. These 2 teams, 5 more meetings left, but we'll see you Saturday night down in Saugerties. 6:50 we'll start our pregame. 7:05 first pitch against the Stallions. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. Have a great off day tomorrow. We'll see you Saturday.